I think one thing has become extremely apparent, and that is that Caulifla needs to fight more Namekians.
Prepare yourself, Dan Saiyan.
Subscribe and hit the notification bell to help us achieve the 300k mortal plan. Every soul counts. Welcome back to Goku Trains Caulifla, the series where Goku trains Caulifla, and in the last chapter we had the entire gang inside the hyperbolic time chamber because Caulifla has found out that this is one of the only realistic ways, short of dying and going to King Kai's planet, of trying to transform into a Super Saiyan 3. Now, it isn't 100% guaranteed that she can transform into Super Saiyan 3 while in the time chamber, but this is her best bet, and that is the reason that she is in here. But while she's in here, Piccolo decided, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and take a piece of this, and I want to jump in on the action and have some fun, and that is where we left off. Goku gives the reins of mentorship to Piccolo yet again, and Piccolo fights the Super Saiyan 2 Universe 6 Saiyan in the Room of Spirit and Time, both of them pushing themselves and transforming into their ultimate forms to see who can come out on top. Let's go ahead and jump right into the brand new chapter. In Super Saiyan 2, Caulifla charges Piccolo and gives him a flurry of jabs and punches, basically making it so he can barely respond. But Piccolo finds an opening and tries to blast her at close range, but she swiftly dodges out of the way and comes back in for another barrage. Now, Caulifla in Super Saiyan 2, I would say even if Piccolo was around the exact same power level, you know, just hypothetically power scaling right off the top of my head, I still think that Super Saiyan 2 edge, the Super Saiyan edge in general, will give you that speed component even if their strengths are very similar. Do you know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? So I think that this is realistic in the depiction of exactly how a Caulifla versus Piccolo fight would actually go. And just want to give a little detail here that Piccolo's got 3 fingers in this, so shout out to old school Piccolo hands. But Caulifla is relentless, and she pops up right in front of him again, punching him again. She is not letting go, she is not giving up, and she is having Piccolo basically on the rebound right now. But Piccolo is no rookie, he is a seasoned fighter, and because Caulifla just keeps being so close, he ends up using an I-beam to try to get her off. I really don't think that he thought this was going to hit her, because it absolutely does not. She dodges out of the way, and this was just a way, again, to create some distance, because Piccolo tries to shoot another beam at her, and she swiftly dodges it again, coming back in for another barrage. Now, this panel on its own gives you exactly what the recipe of each of these fighters' success and their strengths are, and what their weaknesses are. So essentially, Caulifla is a close-range fighter, and I would say most Saiyans on the whole are mainly close-range fighters because they have the advantage of the Super Saiyan transformation that just enhances those skills, those hand-to-hand combat skills. But Piccolo, specifically in this scenario, it looks like his strength is distance. He's trying to keep Caulifla off of him because I don't believe that he thinks that he can go toe-to-toe with her in a close-range duel. So he's trying to keep her off, and maybe his range attacks are a lot stronger. This is a very classic Xenoverse 2 situation when you're building your character, whether you want one that is close range or long range or medium range. And so Caulifla isn't giving him many options here because she is just dive bombing him with attack after attack. Kale and Cabba are both just astounded at Piccolo's prowess here, because Cabba says that with the Super Saiyan 2 transformation, he thought this was going to be extremely one-sided, where Caulifla was just going to raffle stomp all over Piccolo. He had no idea that Universe 7's Piccolo was so powerful, so I believe that because she's kind of known Namekians before the two Universe 6 ones, I think that Piccolo is far more powerful than both of those. So she has a reference to go by, and that is why she is saying this. And then Cabba iterates exactly what I've been saying this whole time, and that is that Caulifla keeps trying to push a ground combat with Piccolo, trying to get in close and have him slip up in hand-to-hand melee, but Piccolo keeps checking her with key attacks, key blasts, trying to get her off of him, and it is working for the most part, but Caulifla is gradually getting used to it, so it's only a matter of time for her to really close that range and kind of push Piccolo back on her footing. And even Goku remarks that now you're seeing the difference between how a Saiyan fights and how a Namekian fights, when a Namekian is a master of his craft. And Cabba realizes that Caulifla's main strength is close quarter combat. So the fact that Piccolo keeps pushing her away isn't good for her if he actually succeeds, and that is when Caulifla rushes into Piccolo. She's been waiting for an opening, and Piccolo is charging up a larger ki blast, and so now is her chance to go in for the knockout punch. Unfortunately for Caulifla, this was not a ki blast that Piccolo was charging. He was actually about to stretch his arms, and he has pushed Caulifla away from him, effectively giving him that distance that he needed. And Caulifla even mentions to herself that she completely forgot that the Namekians can stretch out their limbs, but before she even realizes it, it is entirely too late, and she is trapped within one of Piccolo's signature moves, and it looks like even Caulifla realizes it to herself. Where did these come from? Well, yeah, these are all those blasts that you kept dodging. They were not meant to hit you. They were meant to push you away and create this ki mine field. And Caulifla is stuck right now in the middle of it, and that is where I'm going to end today's chapter, guys. Thank you so much for watching the video up to this point. You guys are the motherfucking squad. The winner of today's hashtag end of video squad, the soul that decided to stay till the very end of my previous video and drop hashtag end of video squad on their comment, is going to be Zombathan Lost Leg Hacker Cat. The announcer saying looks like the guy who kidnapped Goku when he was with Gine and Gohan in Dragon Ball Reboot. Oh my god. Yes, I knew he looked familiar. How is it possible that two entirely different Dragon Ball fan manga creators come up with almost the exact same design in two completely different stories, and they probably have never even heard of each other? I don't know if they have, but I would assume maybe not. That's crazy. There has to be an original design in Dragon Ball that I'm just not remembering. Thank you so much, Zombathan, for that insight. This is going to be Blackscape signing off. Take care, guys.
Subscribe for more content.